Welcome to the audio test of the Movo UM300 condenser microphone. I'm using it now from a distance of 5 centimeters, and the levels are peaking at around about minus 7, minus 8 dB. I'll just go a little bit further away from the mic, however, because a mic like this with a desktop stand is realistically, I would have thought, designed to be used by someone, just on a call or something. So if I just place this down on the desk from a sort of 30 centimeter distance like that, oops, how does the microphone sound now? Well, our levels dropped right down to about minus 18 dB, minus 20, minus 18 dB. The room itself is fairly well acoustically treated, so you shouldn't be picking up too much noise and things like that, but I don't know how well this will come across, how good this will come across compared to using the mic close up. So now I'm going to switch the mic, turn the mic around. So let me just bring it back onto the stand like this, and I'm just going to rotate it 90 degrees to the side. There we go. That's the mic from 90 degrees on the cardioid polar pattern, and that's the mic from 180 degrees. So we've now dropped off right back to about minus 27, minus 24 dB. But if I change the polar pattern to Omni, we should now see an improvement with the mic back up at its regular or close to its regular level. So we're now 180 degrees off the front of the microphone with the mic set to omnidirectional. And if I use it from 90 degrees to the side like that, that's on Omni. And if I use it from the front, that's from about 5 to 10 centimeters from the mic. So I'll switch back to the cardioid pattern and give the mic a chance just to settle, and there we are back on the cardioid polar pattern. So how does the mic perform up close? If I'm bringing my mouth up close, it seems like the level is totally saturating here. Yeah, so I'm going to just speak quite loudly now, okay? So if you're on headphones, watch out. I'm going to speak really loudly into the microphone, and we seem to be completely saturating the level. We can't get anything more out of the mic once it reaches a certain point. It's basically just clipping that, which is really, I don't know whether that's a gain thing. I've turned the gain down as much as I can, but it just seems like even at fairly modest levels, we're kind of just clipping the top end of the microphone. My waveform that I'm recording here is just flat at the top. So really have to be a bit further away like that to keep the dynamics of the microphone and not have it hard clip. So there we are, this is the Movo UM300 microphone. What do you think? How does it sound? Let me know in the comments. A recent arrival in the TDCat Tech Goods In department is this one. This is the Movo UM300 desktop USB microphone. This looks, to be honest, I mean, first impressions, I wouldn't say it looks a little bit like a Blue Yeti, doesn't it, this one? Which is a fairly well-known USB microphone. But let's take a look in the box and see what you get with this. So there we go, we've got our initial bump and the manual. So before we take it out of the box, let's just have a look at the specs. So it supports both cardioid and omnidirectional polar patterns, 20 to 20K, frequency response, sensitivity of minus 36 dB, not too bad. And a 14mm condenser capsule, so it is a condenser mic, not a dynamic mic. You'd expect that with this sort of side address microphone. Signal to noise ratio of 80 dB and sound pressure limit of 110 dB, which isn't particularly high, actually. I think it's absolutely fine for vocal stuff, but yeah, you wouldn't really start using this with any instruments with that kind of limit on there. And the built-in sound, because it's a USB mic, of course, so it has a built-in sort of sound device. Yes, this one operates 48K and 24-bit. All right, what do we have in the box? Oh, have I opened this upside down? All right, first of all, in our foam here, which seems like it could be the kind of really stuff that makes you shiver. It's not, actually. We've got two cables. We've got a USB-C to USB-C cable and a USB-A to USB-C cable. So Movo provide both of those, and these look like they're a decent length too, which is nice. And then inside the box we have the microphone itself, and this is a good weight. Wow. nothing else. Nothing else there. So transported upside down like this. So I'm assuming you rotate this round like that and tighten this up at the side. And there we have it. That's the Movo mic. And this is lovely. This is all solid construction. The mic's solid metal, all the grill's solid metal. I think that might be plastic there, but all this base is metal. It just feels really, really sturdy. USB-C input on the mic, headphone monitoring out, and then we've got a standard fit microphone connector too. So this, I don't know what the specs of these are. I can never find the exact specs of these, the exact size of these, but this is a standard microphone fit. Interestingly, this gain control here on the mic, I think this acts as both headphone monitoring and a gain control, but it has no hard stops on it. That's interesting. So how do you know? Do you just have to guess how loud it is? Okay, so there's a switch. So I'm assuming you press that. You press and switch to switch between the functionality of one or the other. So headphone or gain. But there's no hard stops. It's just a continuous flowing thing. That is odd. And then you can switch between the polar patterns there, between cardioid and omnidirectional. So if you want to use it omni, you can have it like this, and then you can have someone on the other side here talking, and someone here, and someone here. Or that's omni, probably know what that means. And then cardioid, if you switch to cardioid, you're going to have the polar pattern coming in from the front here with rejection around the kind of 90 degrees, 180 around the back of the microphone here. And so you're going to have a sort of angle like this. Now, of course, none of the rejection, when you talk about cardioid and polar patterns and things like that, the rejection isn't 100%. Of course, you're going to get things bouncing off the side of the room that are going to come in. It's not 100% effective. But it's a huge decibel reduction as you move away from the actual sort of pattern and the best sort of angle for this particular microphone. That's how polar patterns work on microphones. So if I am going to connect it to my stand, I'm guessing I'm going to have to take this off here, aren't I? I'm going to have to take this off this base. I'm personally... this is really just a personal opinion because everybody wants mics for different things and stuff like that. But I'm not a fan of mics that sit on a desk like this because I don't want a mic to take up space on a desk. And I also know that when you sort of tap the desk like this, you're going to get sound transferred up because this isn't shock mounted or anything. You're going to get sound that transfers up into the microphone. I'm a huge fan of microphone stands that keeps the microphone out of the way. And you can just, when you're done with it, you can just lift it up, push it out of the way and carry on with whatever you're doing. So there we go, a little bit of a closer look on the microphone. If I'm going to mount this, I'm going to have to leave these open at the side, which looks a bit messy, doesn't it, I suppose? But yeah, so I'm going to try and get that attached to there now. There we are. Interesting. I don't... Is it? Am I supposed to do this? Is this even a way that you're supposed to use it? Because I'm looking at this thinking... because of the way this mic stand is, I'm going to have the USB blocked here, aren't I? I'm not sure that this is going to work. Let me get the USB-C to USB-C cable and see whether I can fit it into here. No, I'm not going to be able to do that. Ah, that's a disappointment. I'm not even going to be able to do this. It's just the cable doesn't... the cable won't fit. Maybe I'm connecting this completely the wrong way. If you can spot a better way of attaching this to a microphone stand, just let me know in the comments so it can help other people. So the gain control here, actually with one press, is a mute. It's a mute button. It's not switching between the gain control at all. To switch between the headphone and the gain control, you press and hold, and now you see that's purple. So now it's on purple. It is showing me that it's now doing gain control of the mic. And when it's on blue, hold, press and hold, and it's back to blue, it's now doing the headphone monitoring output of the microphone. So it's quite a neat little... I mean, I know I say I don't like them taking up space on the desk, but, it is quite a nice little solution, isn't it? To have just a mic sort of sat here at the side of your laptop that you're able to sort of record in like this. I actually think that these bits of foam that you get in the box are tremendous little acoustic decouplers. They rise it up off the desk and will acoustically decouple the microphone from the desk to avoid the kind of rumbles and taps of sound coming through. Here are the preferences in Adobe Audition, and I'll take a look in here and see whether we can find it. And there, right, first thing there, we've got the UM300 as a default. I'm going to change that, my default input, to the UM300. Now, of course, it should provide me with an output as well, because it's got a headphone out on here too, hasn't it? So yes, we also have the UM300 as an output as well. So some final thoughts on the Movo UM300. I'm going to be completely honest here and say I'm not a huge fan of this microphone. I think the build quality is excellent. I actually quite like the way the buttons work and switch between the headphone and the fader, the volume control of the mic. I don't like the fact that the volume control of the mic doesn't have a hard stop. I think that makes it very, very difficult to figure out what you're doing with the microphone. And also, above all else, the sound quality is just not that good. I think there are better USB mics at this price and less that sound much nicer than this. I've reviewed a couple in the past, quite a while ago now, but I've reviewed a few, and they just sound better than this. I think this has a slightly, almost like a headset sound to it. If you listen to gaming headsets, they have that kind of very, very distinct sound to them because of the type of microphone they use and the build and the way the microphone's positioned and stuff like that. And this sounds like a headset, which it really shouldn't do. It shouldn't have any of those characteristics as a desktop condenser mic. So, yeah, not too impressed, but let me know what you think in the comments. Have a listen to the audio test. Sorry I couldn't do any more audio of the microphone in the video. The only bit is the audio test at the start. I misplaced some files and unfortunately wasn't able to add any more audio from the mic. But thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon.